Hey, come here often?
Yeah, far too often for my liking. What about you?
Well, every other week I seem to roll up in here to record a podcast.
Same here. So what did we watch this... Oh, by the way, let's introduce ourselves. Hi, I'm Carol.
I'm Mia.
And this is Refried Scenes. And what did we watch this week?
We watched Gloria from 2013 and Gloria Bell from 2019. There are movies today comparing in Refried Scenes.
I had not seen either of these films.
Same here.
As a matter of fact, I don't even think I had heard of either of these films.
I think I had seen the cover of the American one, scrolling through all the various movie streaming apps that I have. but I haven't watched any, or I hadn't seen a trailer or synopsis or anything, so I wasn't sure at all what we were getting into.
Yeah, so let's dive into this. So this one is the first film is a foreign film. It's Chilean.
From Sebastián Lelio. I do not know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I apologize.
And then the American remake done by the same director.
Same writer and director.
Yeah, so they literally just remade their film in English.
Yeah, word is Julianne Moore approached Lelio after seeing Gloria for a remake. And she's credited as the executive producer, so I think she had quite an influence. She is the star of the remake.
Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get into the Chilean version.
Well, this is nearly a shot-for-shot remake.
So, yeah, when we talk about the Chilean, and then it's almost exactly the American.
Yeah, I will just assume they're the same, except for the parts where I bring out the slight differences. So, it starts out, Gloria is in a dance club where the patrons are noticeably older than what we're used to seeing here in the States. So I'm guessing it was an age 50 or above dance club?
Gloria seems to be in her late 50s.
She is 58 from what I read, though I don't know that that's specified in the movie dialogue. I'm not sure where that came from, but she runs into a man that she recognizes, and she reintroduces herself to him. And then that's our introduction to her. So we know that she is single and ready to mingle. She goes home alone that night to a fairly neat apartment and a hairless cat that is not hers.
Yeah, the cat shows up often. But
he does.
The cat's just looking for a new owner.
Looking for some peace and quiet in that apartment complex.
Yeah, no doubt.
So the next morning, she's driving to work, singing along to music in her car, and that's a recurring motif in the movie. I love that because I do the same thing.
Oh yeah. If you ever pull up in a red light next to me, I'm putting on a concert. So just ignore me.
Same thing. So I'm not sure what Gloria does for a living in the original, but in the remake she works for insurance. They're both office jobs, sort of middle to upper middle class range office work from what I gather. Gloria then visits her son, who is a little bit overwhelmed by his toddler, so she's enjoying helping him out and hanging out with her grandkid.
His wife is... I don't think they say where his wife is in the original, do they?
I don't believe so. The dialogue goes very quickly, I'll say, in the original, so reading the subtitles, I missed it if they said it. Yeah. But he is on his own with the toddler. And I love how Michael Cera plays him in the remake, but we'll go into that. So after visiting her son, she goes to the nightclub again, and she's dancing on the dance floor, and, you lock eyes with somebody you're attracted to across the room. There's some sexual tension there throughout the night. I'm imagining a couple hours go by until he finally approaches her with, "Are you always this happy?"
I don't know if that's a good pickup line.
I don't think he's got game.
No.
Yeah. So they go home together for one of the most realistic sex scenes I've seen in cinema.
Yeah. You get your share of middle-aged sex here. So, if that makes you uncomfortable, this ain't the movie for you.
Sorry for the coughing. They meet... I'm sorry. I skipped here. They go home together. They have the sex scene. The next morning, Rodolfo, or Arnold in the remake, calls her to see her again. They meet for lunch in a swanky restaurant, high-rise view, where they get to know each other a little bit. The romantic atmosphere is interrupted by a phone call he receives where he angrily replies to the caller about promising to make a deposit by 2 p.m. Gloria presses, "Are you divorced or are you not divorced?" And I love her from this moment on.
Yeah.
He explains that it's his daughters he's still tied to. And we've already seen Gloria's kids.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention we meet her daughter. And
her daughter's a yoga instructor.
And she's seeing a mountain climber. In the original, in the remake version, he's a big wave surfer.
Yeah. I think he's Swedish in both versions.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah, she's pregnant. We don't know that.
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know that yet. Oops.
But she's, not freeloading off her mom.
No. Both her kids are very independent.
Yeah, so we immediately kind of get this comparison that Rodolfo has freeloader ex-wife and kids, and Gloria has a fully functioning family.
Adult kids, yeah.
So, there's a red flag there. But like most of us, we ignore the first red flag.
I'm reminded of a scene from one of my favorite shows of all time, BoJack Horseman, where one of the characters said, when you look at people with rose-colored glasses, all those red flags just look like flags.
It's a perfect quote. And a timeless quote. He explains that he's still tied to his daughters. And then the next time we see them, Gloria is flying on a skydive or free fall thing at an amusement park.
Yeah.
I don't know what that thing is called.
I think it's called like an anti-grav. I don't know what they call it. But it's like you get into the harness and then you just free fall and you swing.
And you gotta swing. And
it's something I would never do. Because I would, first off, pee my pants. And then second off, throw up on anyone who is underneath the rock.
I would do it.
I don't do heights very well.
Well, Gloria loves it.
Yeah, she's having the time of her life.
The scene is a mirror image in the remake as to the original, but I can see why. The camera lingers on her smile and just enjoying the zest of life there that she has. On another date, Rodolfo reads a love poem to Gloria.
And we should say that park, where she did the ride, is actually Rodolfo's park.
Yes.
He owns it. It's a paintball, and it's kind of a small amusement park type thing. It's definitely not Disney World.
No.
But it's got paintball and a couple of rides.
And she loves the paintballs, too, as she explains to her family later. But so there's this other date where Gloria is listening to Rodolfo read her this love poem where it talks about sort of a codependent love poem. But
it's a very awkward poem. She finds it romantic. I found it kind of clingy. It's like, if you were a foot, I'd be the sock. If you were the beach, I'd be the ocean or something. I'd be the wave. It's very
the tree, I'd be the water going through to your roots.
It's very like, I can see on a first date it would be, you'd look at it and go, oh, that's so romantic. But having come from certain relationships myself, I was like, oh, dude, that's kind of cringy.
Just imagine somebody reads you this, and you are touched by it, and then immediately
their phone
gets a call from his daughters, and he is not telling them where he is or whom he's with.
Right.
So in
lies,
one breath,
basically.
you know,
You were my sun and my moon and my stars, and then the next bag, but I can't tell my kids about you.
Yeah, so second red flag. She presses him, of course, to tell his family about her and tells her how it makes her, you know, it contradicts this feeling that she means everything to him. But he defends his secrecy.
He just kind of brushes it off.
Well, he says, no, I'm not going to tell them about you. I don't
want to confuse the situation.
I don't want them to make fun of me.
Yeah.
Like that would be anything to poke fun of. It's very, I'd be out, but, you know.
You're the dad in this situation, so if your kids are poking fun of you, just poke right back. Or, you know, you're the father in this situation.
Or laugh about it with them.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, she unvelcroed my girdle.
Yeah.
Our first night together. It was pretty cool. You should try it sometime. You know, so we see Gloria then on another date. I don't know how much time is passing here, by the way. It's weeks or days.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't really say. I'm assuming it's weeks. I wouldn't say months, but...
yeah, you're probably right. I don't think it's days either.
No.
She does have a full-time job. He's
Yeah.
got the amusement park. I'm sure he's busy. But she brings him to her son's apartment for his birthday party, which is
So
a family
she is
gathering.
introducing him to her family.
Exactly. Instead of honoring, you know, the gesture of being included with her family, he gets jealous of, well, he meets her ex-husband.
And her
they've been
divorced for 12 years.
He's remarried.
Yeah, he's remarried. She seems to be very friendly in this version. She seems to be very friendly with his wife, his new wife. His new wife is like, "Do you want some pot?"
Well, she's meeting her for the first time. It's clear in the remake. I'm not sure in the
here.
original.
She thanks her for getting it together, getting the gathering together. So I think they've actually met previously.
Yeah.
So it's not a horrible ex situation where they don't talk to each other or they don't want to see each other, but they're obviously divorced.
Right. Anyway, he just gets his insecurities get the better of him, and he Irish goodbyes out of there.
Yeah. He excuses himself to take a phone call and then never comes back.
He doesn't even excuse himself to take a phone call.
In the original, I think he actually does. Oh.
No.
Oh. Yeah, he just
he waits for attention to be, focal point on one thing, and he just dips out. Later, he tells her he got a phone call. So
yeah, well, but still, he leaves her there because he drove
her there. There's a few moments where she realizes he's gone, and then everybody else in the apartment is sort of looking for him. So it's not leaving her in a good position around the people that she loves.
Sorry about that. But yeah, and it's awkward because she's just introducing him to her family, and this is the first thing he does.
Yeah. So, and in the remake, Michael Cera says to her, who are you with?
Who is this guy?
Who is this guy? And I like that they included that. So Gloria rejects his phone calls the next day. He meets her in the parking deck when she leaves work.
This is another red flag to me. 'Cause it's like, if I'm telling you I don't want to talk to you, don't show up at my place of work and wait at my car.
I can see your point. He explains how awful the party was for him. And she tells him to grow a pair.
Yeah.
And she tries to give him a duffel bag of paintball guns in her car, and he's like, no, she's like, fine, I'll keep them. Puts them back in her trunk, gets in her car. He's, sort of badgering, no, don't leave, we have to save what we have.
His excuse was so, because it's like, I tried to find your eyes, but you weren't looking at me. And it's like, it's her son's birthday, and yeah, they pulled out old photos and they were reminiscing, but you're there with her. you can't be the focal point
Right. And he's
24/7, and he can't handle that.
There's not a moment where he's trying to get to know anybody there. No. They are trying to get to know him. In the remake, it comes across as sort of badgering questions, but in the original, I didn't get that impression. I just kind of felt
they were just asking questions. Hey, you're with my mom. I kind of want to know
right. What do you do? What do you do? What do your kids do? Yeah, things like that. The basics.
Yeah. And you can tell he's also jealous because he's meeting these two very independent kids that aren't relying on their mother for
right. And I don't
finance.
know if there's some judgment on his side where he's judging her for not spoiling her kids rotten, or if it's a self-confidence thing like, oh, my kids aren't anywhere near where her kids are in their life, and yeah, I feel bad about that. I can't gauge
either
what he's
way
thinking.
He handled it very poorly.
Absolutely.
Very poorly.
And when Gloria tells him to grow a pair, I was like, yes, because I was thinking he's going to win her back at that moment.
Yeah.
I really was.
To an extent he does. Kind of.
And not at that moment.
Not at that moment,
So, there's several scenes where Gloria is going about her day. She's at work, she's cleaning the apartment, she's listening to an argument from her neighbors, what have you. She's hanging out with friends. And, she's dodging phone calls. She's dodging phone calls. She's dodging phone calls. She has an eye exam, and she gets diagnosed with glaucoma, which is going to be treated by eye drops that she'll need to take for the rest of her days. Kind of a downer moment for her. I think that's when she kind of realizes, I'm getting older.
Maybe I should just settle.
Right. And then she's walking through town. I think she's walking on her lunch break at work or something. She's in the metro area, and there's a street performer doing a puppet thing of a skeleton puppet dancing. And I think seeing that visual of the skeleton dancing reminded her of herself. And I don't remember, does she pick up her phone or does she call him?
No, the phone rings and she actually answers it.
Yeah. So we know it's him on the other line. And then we see them checking into a luxury hotel. In the original, they're at Vina del Mar.
Yeah, it's like a resort off the coast of Chile.
It's luxury.
It's nice. It's nice.
It's nice. I'm going to have to check out some Airbnb.
The guy has a bit of money.
Yeah.
So, obviously, if he's taking these trips and he's supporting an ex-wife and 2 adult daughters, he has money.
Right. In the remake, it's at Las Vegas Caesar's Palace. Just after checking in, Rodolfo gets a call from his daughters.
Yep.
Same tone that we're used to. They want something from him. He's kind of argumentative and saying, no, I deserve this time. Doctors can handle it, whatever. Gloria presses him about the phone call. This one is a little more serious. His ex-wife has been in an accident.
She walked through a window. This to me...
It was a clean glass window, Carol. How many times have you done that?
0. This to me screamed, you left town, I need to get your attention.
Yeah, you're right.
And this is the only way I know how to get your attention is to hurt myself.
You're absolutely right. That is the tone that I got from it, though nobody speaks that.
Nobody speaks that, but to walk through a glass window, like, you have to be running to get through a glass window.
With shards
that's okay.
With shards of glass big enough to cause such cuts on your legs that you need to go to the emergency room.
Right.
And he needs to fly back or drive back to town.
You need to fly back now, and it's like, and to his credit, at this point, he says no.
Right. He says the doctors can handle it. And he tells Gloria it was a stupid accident. It was a stupid thing for her to do. So Gloria seduces him in the hotel room. I think she's kind of... I can't really explain. Was she maybe romantically attracted to this, that he finally told them no and prioritized her?
I think,
or has it been some time and she just is
I think it was a turn on that he actually said no. That he said, no, I'm not coming back. I'm here for you. This is our time.
Okay. Well,
it doesn't last.
the next time we see them, they're at dinner, and it's an upscale restaurant. I think it's probably something in the hotel resort. Romantic ambiance, all of that. His phone's ringing. She puts it in his soup.
Yeah, she just drops it in the soup.
and she laughs it off. She kind of pokes fun at this action, like, well, let's just take care of this interruption right now. She asks him to turn it off, actually, and he says,
he's, no, just in case I need to. Yeah, it's like, no, I won't answer it, but no, there's
I don't want
still
to turn
that,
it off either.
Yeah, there's still that I can't let it go.
Yeah, so she puts it in the soup. He tries to let it go, but within a few minutes, he excuses himself to go to the bathroom. Enough time passes that Gloria suspects he's not coming back. So she checks the bathroom, she checks the lobby area, the staircase area of this resort. She's not finding him.
She checks their room, and they don't show the closet, but I think his clothes are gone.
They is that here or is that the next morning?
No, that's
because I thought
in the remake she goes back to the room first and then goes back downstairs.
Gotcha.
Here she just goes straight to the bar. She's like, fuck it.
Goes to the bar. There's a vibrant young woman gambling at the roulette table, so she goes and joins them, and sort of has this unexplained animal magnetism towards a young man there.
Hey, you know what? She's more than a little tipsy at this point.
Oh yes, there's heavy drinking.
There's heavy drinking. She tells the girl to bet on her birthday, which is 22, and the girl wins. So there's this very kind of joyous, this is my new friend Gloria type thing, and they have a friend who's alone as well, so
so why not?
Why not?
They have a great night. This is beautiful cinematography here, where they're just in the casino making out, and walking through the park making out, and he's spinning her around a sort of playground carousel type of thing.
Yeah, a merry-go-round, and it's like, oh, this is not a good thing when you're that drunk.
You even hear him kind of thump off screen. But she's in her glory, as she's spinning, and the camera's sort of got the lights in the background. It's a very beautiful scene. But then she wakes up on the beach.
Missing a shoe. He's
not around. Doing the I
would say walk of shame, but I don't think she's ashamed. It's not like she went home with them, and I don't think they were screwing on the beach or anything. I think they were just drunk and having a good time.
Right. She goes back to the hotel room. To me, that's how I remember her seeing that his stuff is already gone. That he's already checked out. I
had thought in this version she went back, but he had already checked out and she couldn't get back into
It's possible, because I didn't write these notes during.
I don't think she could, because she had to call. She calls her housekeeper.
In the original, it's her housekeeper, right?
In
the remake, it's her mom.
Yeah, they ditched the housekeeper and make her her mom. But she has to call her housekeeper, and then waits in the lobby.
Yeah, probably, because by now she's missed checkout time.
Yeah.
And can't leave the hotel until it's paid for.
And he basically stiffed her with the bill.
Yeah, so she's
got to wait for her housekeeper to come and bring her ID and her, basically a backup.
Change of clothes and...
Yeah. So, yeah, so once again, just kind of leaves her.
Yeah. I saw that coming this time.
Yeah.
So she's back to her routine when she gets home. Although now she's added smoking weed
Yeah.
to her regimen, the weed that she's found from the rowdy
her neighbors. One night,
the
her
owner
neighbor,
of the cat. We find
yeah,
out.
the owner of the cat one night mistakes her apartment for his apartment and is just banging on the door, screaming to be let in. And he drops a big bag of pot, and she partakes. Which with glaucoma patients,
it slows the
yeah, it's effective.
Yeah. So she's working, spending time with her her children and grandchild. And she's cleaning out her car, remembers that duffel bag of paintball guns that she has in her trunk. So she empties that in the trash bin of the apartment complex and goes back to cleaning her car. Then another day, maybe this is the next morning, she's getting ready for her friend's daughter's wedding. And on her way out, she passes that trash bin, pauses to put that duffel bag back in her car. Here I'm yelling at the screen, Gloria, do not take this man back.
Because he's attempting to call her again.
Yeah, he left a message. Mm-hmm. Think about what we had.
It's like...
Yeah. Well, she pulls up to his ex-wife's and daughter's home, pulls a paintball gun out, and sprays the house and him.
Because he is there bringing them groceries. They can't even get off their asses and go to the grocery store. He is bringing them groceries.
Yeah.
And she just nails him with the paint gun.
And she walks off, gets back in her car and heads off to the wedding, singing along to songs on the way. When she gets to the wedding, she politely declines a gentleman asking her to dance. But then the song Gloria comes on, and her friend is saying, "Come on, you gotta dance. This is your song." So she gets up, and she's reluctantly starts dancing, but then she gets into it, and the end.
And that's the end.
So it's a slice of life film about what it's like to date in your
in your 50s.
In your 50s, though I'm in my 40s and I've been dating in my 30s. I don't
think it much changes. Frankly,
no.
Just I think what this movie. Well, talking about the remake, because it is unusual that this is, it's a Spanish language film that the same director and the same writer remade in English. So it's almost shot for shot.
Only 5 years apart.
Yeah.
6 years apart.
And there are certain scenes where it's a shot for shot.
Yep, absolutely.
Remake. The only changes they really made were they turned her housekeeper into her mother.
Yeah, and it's, instead of being in Chile, it's in LA.
It's in LA. So it's very much the same exact movie.
Yeah.
Beat for beat. So it's kind of hard to compare them because... but what I did like about this movie is it kind of demonstrates that the difference between wanting a relationship and needing a relationship. Because, okay, I'm going to switch to the American version because it's Rodolfo in the Chilean version, and it's Arnold, played by John Turturro in the remake. Because Rodolfo / Arnold needs a relationship. He needs
companionship. I don't even
it.
think he needs a relationship.
I think he just...
I don't think he knows the difference.
Yeah, which is why he can't seem to let go. Or tell his ex-wife, hey, get a job. He can't tell his adult... Because his daughters are 27 and 31, and they don't work. He fully supports all three of them. And I'm like, no, he just needs to be needed.
Yeah, he does.
And which is why whenever Gloria is like focusing on something else, he can't handle it.
And when they first get to know each other, he reveals that his life used to be very different because he used to be heavy, and he got the gastric bypass surgery a year ago, right when they got divorced, I guess, when they split. So he's lost weight. However, the same habits.
Yeah, the same habits are still there. Whereas Gloria wants a relationship. She doesn't need anybody. She seems to be doing okay. She's got herself a pretty good job. Her kids are very well on their own. She's not supporting anybody.
She's very active. She goes to yoga. She goes dancing.
Goes dancing. She hangs out with her friends. She's not like this, oh my God, I just have to find a man right now. So she wants a relationship, but she doesn't need this relationship. So, and I think that was kind of a nice distinction.
I have to say that I wish that I spoke Spanish so that I can fully appreciate the original.
Yeah.
The same way that I can the remake.
Right. So
it is unfair for me to say that I liked the remake more because I got the nuances.
That's kind of a problem when judging, because I actually kind of like the Spanish language one more because they seemed a bit more realistic. It's hard for me to not look at Julianne Moore and not say movie star.
Right. Yeah, but don't you think that actress? I mean, she's got a 6-pack.
With the Chilean actress?
Yeah.
She's in very good shape.
Skin, but
for 59, because I believe the actress was 59 when she made this. She's in she's in incredible shape, and so is Julianne Moore. And you get full nudity here. In the Chilean, Julianne Moore's not showing bush. But I just...
Not even the cat.
Not even that is a very precisely placed cat in one scene.
But I have to say how real that scene was, because I get out of the shower and lay on the bed
naked, and there's the cat right there. So it's I kind of like the Spanish language one a little bit more. But either way, these are both really good movies. If you're not into that kind of slice of life drama, you're probably not going to go for these.
No, I think this has the demographic of if you're a divorced woman, this is the movie that you're going to enjoy.
Yeah, but I like it also because not all the men are complete assholes here. I mean, Rodolfo Arnold is, but that's mostly because he just has deep-seated issues he hasn't gotten rid of yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say he's a complete asshole.
No, he just doesn't know how to handle things.
I think he would be a good friend.
Yeah, and I think his instinct when things don't go the way he wants them is to run away.
He's going to go where he's needed.
Yeah. So, but, her ex-husband... You're remarried and seems to be an okay guy.
Yeah. Her son
is, in the remake, he's played by Michael Cera. It's kind of funny because his wife is, I don't know, on a spiritual journey or something in the desert.
People ask him where his wife is. He's like, I don't know.
I don't know. But he occasionally gets phone calls from her. But it's just very slice of life. I enjoyed both movies. I'm going to give the edge to the Spanish language version. I think this does kind of put into context the fact that we as Americans can't handle foreign films. And we have to have them redone. Because this is literally a shot bite. This is the same movie, just in a different language.
Well, but again, I have to say
you get the nuances.
I don't think it was necessary.
I
didn't need it.
Yeah. But I don't think... Yeah.
And I do think, I see that the original has this quality where Gloria isn't as... she doesn't have that same star quality.
Yeah,
beauty.
She looks like... your average middle-aged
she's still a catch.
Worker.
She's still a catch, but she's
just she's an older lady hanging out at clubs, but she's not hanging out at the young clubs. She's hanging out with people her age, so it's not like she's a cougar looking for Although, man, in the remake, the guy at the casino was played by Sean Astin. And I was like, yeah, Arnold who? I'd be gay.
See, I think that casting should have been opposite, and I'm sure that scheduling played a part as to why they were cast the way they were. But Sean Astin is more believable as a dad that has freeloader kids to me.
But I don't think he's old enough.
Okay.
Because
that's fair.
John Turturro, I think, is in his late 50s, early 60s. I know Sean Astin, I want to say he's close to 50, but I don't buy him as having a 31-year-old daughter.
All right. Yeah.
And I think they
fair.
wanted the younger guy at the casino for her to just.
Yeah. And in the remake, he's married without the wedding band on.
Yeah. But he puts the wedding band on her, which is kind of. But they're at that point they're both so drunk.
They're plastered.
It's like, trust me, he's not getting it out. No. And she left him.
They make out.
Yeah, they just make out and that's it. And she probably left him in that, child's park where he just fell after pushing her on the merry-go-round, and she just wandered back to the casino.
Oops.
Oopsie! He woke up and did the walk of shame from a kid's park.
That's right. I hope he got his wedding ring back.
I hope so too. And I didn't see it on her finger, so it's. I mean, they're both really good movies. I'm really glad we kind of landed on these because I never would have watched them otherwise.
Same here, and have you guys done a remake before that was so similar, done by the same writer-director?
I don't think we've done one that was same writer-director. I know we did one, I'd have to think back, but I know we did one that was like, holy cow, this is really similar, and it was a foreign language Americanized version.
Gotcha.
And I just can't remember it off the top of my head. But we did one that was very similar. There's like, well, I don't really have to go into the plot of the second one because it's exactly the same as the first one, only in English.
All right. Well, I give the edge to the remake. You give the edge
to the original.
All right. Well,
but both are very good. So.
Yeah, I recommend them both, especially if you're a divorced gal.
Yeah.
At any age.
Yeah. Or if you're a guy looking for a divorced gal, watch these to know how not to act.
Good. That's good advice.
Okay, so next up, we're down to 46 movies on our list. Randomizing 1 to 46. 23, which is The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
All right.
So that is...
I've seen both of those.
So cool. Okay. I've seen the original. I have not seen the remake. So this will be interesting. So next up, The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
All right.
And that will wrap up another edition of refried scenes. I know this one is probably one that people are going to look at and go, what movies? But give them a watch, because these are actually, Gloria and Gloria Bell are actually really good films.
They're on, HBO and Amazon Prime?
Yeah, Gloria Bell was on HBO, and no, Gloria Bell was on Amazon Prime. Gloria was on HBO.
All right, give them a watch. Let us know what you think.
Yep. And this is Carol signing out.
Bye-bye.
Bye.